Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing another episode from the Powerpuff Girls. Now, this isn't from the reboot, this is the older show, or the first one I should say. Well, I guess I could also say older show, or original. But anyway, so this episode is called Octi Gone. It kind of sounds like the word octagon. But anyway, it's called that because in this episode, Bubbles' favorite toy, which is this octopus, which she calls Octi, is missing. So that's how we got its name, Octi Gone. Which, again, still sounds like the word octagon. But anyway, so while Bubbles is upstairs getting ready for this party that they're having, she notices a part of her favorite toy, which again is this octopus that she calls Octi, is sticking out from underneath of her bed. And when she goes to pick him up, she sees that it's only one of his legs. And she just freaks out and even faints because her toy is missing, plus it's only part of her toy. And then it gets dark and the professor comes in and sees Bubbles laying on the floor with Octi's leg in her hand. And he asks her if everything's okay and doesn't question, Bubbles, why are you on the floor? And why are you on the floor in the dark? And why are you holding one of Octi's legs? Where's the rest of him? He doesn't question any of this. And I thought when I first seen that, I'm like, your daughter is laying on the floor in the dark and you're not questioning this? But there is an explanation of why he didn't question this later on. So that I'm glad of. But anyway, so then Bubbles goes down to the party and suspects that one of the guests took Octi. And she first suspects Buttercup, and there's some flashbacks of why she thinks Buttercup, and then Blossom, and then even her teacher and the mayor took Octi. And she is determined to get Octi back. So she freaks out and locks the door and says that no one will leave until she gets him back, and everyone's looking at her like she's lost her mind. And then she tells them once she turns off the lights, when she's about to turn off the lights, she says that after she turns them back on, she wants Octi back, but everyone is still looking at her like she's lost it. And then the professor explains what happened. He accidentally ran over Octi in the with the vacuum cleaner when he was vacuuming the girl's room. So then he tries to fix Octi, and he's able to fix him all except for that one arm. And then Bubbles asks him if he has Octi, and he says that he does. And then they're able to fix Octi, and he's good as new. But actually, before Bubbles finds out that the professor accidentally ruined him, but then tried to fix him, and did except for that one arm that was missing, JoJo actually calls the Powerpuff Girls saying that he has Octi, and to give him, I think he said he wanted 100, or 1,000, I forget which it was, bottles of that stuff that gave the girl superpowers, which is called Chemical X. And then Bubbles finds out that what the professor did accidentally, and then they fix Octi, and he's good as new. And then they're like, wait, but if Octi's here, then who's on the phone? And Bubbles even asks who's on the phone, who is this? And I'm like, why didn't you recognize that's JoJo? Because JoJo has a very distinct voice. So I really don't know why Bubbles didn't recognize JoJo's voice. And what's also weird is that, how did JoJo know that Octi was missing? Because he says that he has him, but clearly he didn't. So that is really interesting. How come JoJo knew that Octi was missing? And if they did give him that stuff, how was he going to explain? I mean, I guess he was just going to come right out and say that he actually never did have him to begin with. But how did he know he was missing? I'm not sure about that, but anyway, so they discovered that the call had actually come from inside the house, and then it's revealed that JoJo somehow got into their house. And then when we finally see where JoJo is in the house, we actually see that he's in the bathroom sitting on the toilet. But he actually has both seats down, so that was good. So he wasn't actually using the bathroom. He was just sitting on the toilet with both the lids down. And while he was talking to Bubbles on the phone, he was eating this banana cream pie that he had snagged from the party. And I guess that's probably how he found out that Octi was missing, because he, for some reason, broke into their house, and I guess he overheard that Octi was missing, and I guess he thought that he would get the chemical X by pretending that he had Octi, which maybe that's why he had come into their house, because maybe he figured that if he took the chemical X while there was a party going on, he would not be noticed. But you'd think that'd be a way for him to really get noticed with all those people in the house, but maybe he just thought that'd be a good distraction. Which kind of makes sense, but in a way that's probably not the best idea. But anyway, and then while JoJo is talking to Bubbles on the phone, they get an incoming call, and it's the caterer that brought the food, and he reveals that they shouldn't eat the banana cream pie because it had been contaminated. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying that. But anyway, once JoJo hears this, his eyes get real big or pop out a little bit. Just an expression on his face when he hears that. It's kind of funny. But it's not so funny what happens next, because after JoJo hears this, he starts to get sick. And then Bubbles and the others come in, and Bubbles says that he's a real party pooper. And then JoJo is groaning in pain because he's sick. And yeah, apparently that banana cream pie gave him, I'm guessing it gave him diarrhea or something. And gave him, I'm sure, an upset stomach as well. And that's where the episode ends. But I really hope that they didn't beat JoJo up, because, I mean, he was sick. So I would really hope that the girls would not have beaten him up, because we actually don't know what happened after that point. I kind of wish we did, but in a way I'm glad, because I really have a feeling that they probably would have beaten him up, which I feel in this case would have been really uncalled for. Plus, they do seem to beat JoJo up when they don't need to. So yeah, I have a feeling they probably did beat him up, which that's not right, especially when he's sick. And I would think that, if he did break into their house to get the chemical X while the party was going on, which does actually sound like something he would do, and that really any villain would have done. I can imagine that getting diarrhea and having a stomach ache would be punishment enough. Trust me. I'm sure that would have been punishment enough. But anyway, yeah, this is a pretty good episode. It's sad what happens to JoJo at the end, but obviously he recovers from that. And I really hope that they didn't beat him up. I really hope they didn't. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more. Bye.